Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jade Monkey. We're back here in DayZ 1.07. We're currently on the, I should say this is for all platforms, PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, but we're currently, right now, we're on the PC version, and this is the version that we have over on the console as well. We're talking about today the inventory bug fixes, or the inventory glitches, or as we call it, desync, server issues, lag issues, FPS. Let's see what else. There was FPS. Yeah, just a litany of bugs and fixes, or just like what's going on with 107. It started off okay, but things kind of started to slowly fall apart as the day went on. So let's go over what the developers put out there, and we'll show you some of the things we ran into during the live stream yesterday, and also some of the workarounds that we found. So I'm going to say, like, just off top, the inventory fixes, quote unquote, that's what they call them. There were some changes to it for sure, and it seems like there was progress, but there's also still some glitches around it, so it kind of feels like desync still, but it's not. We'll get into it. Let's go into and see what the developers just said today. Today being Friday. I'm not sure what the date is. We were up all night playing, by the way. We were streaming over on the Xbox Official Servers, and then we played here on PC. It's been at least 12 hours. Today is February 14th, Valentine's Day, of course. Okay, so let's go over to the developers here and see what they said. Console players, we are aware of one client crash related to inventory that is appearing since yesterday's 107 update. We are working on resolving it, and we will keep you updated. So today says, as we are still working on this, we'd like to share some details on the situation for you. Okay. Yesterday's 107 update regrettably introduced several new issues to the game. To be as transparent as possible with you, we'd like to go into some detail on these problems and what we intend to do about them. The game crashes, blue screen on PS4. For the Xbox, we just get kicked to the dashboard, but it's the same idea. That most of you are currently experiencing is a consequence of recent work that was put into the inventory. However, as our inventory is quite complicated with countless options of switching and swapping on both PC and console inventory, this error occurred on consoles as a result from the fixes. Our programmers are currently going through all the interactions, yeah, that are moving items to adjust them. It feels like a broken sentence, but that's okay. Or I can't read because I'm so tired. We've also seen a server crash appear, which is most likely tied to the physics-based dropping of large items. We kind of saw that. We definitely had 2 crashes last night during the live stream, and that was on the Xbox One, and we were specifically on the Xbox One X, so the equivalent would be a PS4 Pro. Anyways, as a result of dropping large items, this issue also seemed to appear more often on the console servers, so we'll most likely revert the change temporarily until a solid solution is found. Okay, an issue not as game-breaking but certainly frustrating is the voice chat being triggered during inventory navigation. We did get a lot of people saying that. We did confirm that was happening on both PlayStation and the Xbox. Yeah, so that's happening. So basically when you use the D-pad to go up and down, if you use the down on the D-pad, it's going to trigger the voice. We use in-game all the time, so not as crazy, but I get it. That's an unintended thing. While we're currently prioritizing the crashes, I really can't talk or read. We'll fix it as soon as possible. Last but not least, we have received your reports of FPS drops during the gameplay. But as we haven't been able to find their cause yet, we'd ask you to provide us with some data on where you're experiencing the lag. Critical information is here. I would assume you have to do it. I don't know what their bug tracking is, but I assume you have to do it on the website here, possibly in the forums. Figure out where they're. It's not air trapping. I'm thinking of actual programming, where you actually do the reporting. But they say number 1, the location your character is at. 2, the server you're playing on. 3, if there's anything unusual about this location, be it a player-made base, large amounts of loot, or just many structures. We will continue to focus on these priority issues and hope to have the fixes tested and ready for release by the beginning of next week. We apologize for the inconveniences and hope to have the problems resolved swiftly. I really can't read. Okay, so it's nice to see that they're on top of it. They're hitting everything that we were experiencing. Our chat was also chiming in saying, hey, we're having FPS drops. So it's nice to see that. I know, okay, so to go back to some of the inventory glitches we were seeing and what you can expect in 107 on the current version. Again, today's Friday, the 14th of February, Valentine's Day. Okay, so let me see if I can just simulate this real quick. Okay, so previously in 106, we'd have issues with we could just move things into an inventory and we didn't know if it was actually in there. So we called it desync. Basically, the item was back here, and the client and the server didn't communicate properly, and this is an oversimplified thing here. But basically, we would move it here, but the item would be back here. So then the person would have this bag. They would think they had that item. They would leave the area. The server and the client would refresh, and then all of a sudden this can was back in this inventory, but you would have no way of knowing. We called it desync. It would happen with guns, bullets. We'd have ghosted bullets. It seems like that doesn't happen now, or at least we didn't run into it. Here's what happens. If you run into desync again, hopefully this makes sense. Anybody that was playing 106, you know what I'm talking about, hopefully. If somehow this becomes desync, let's say I'm just move this item here, and that's a perfectly good move. But let's say I try to move this item and it's desync. Instead of it just saying, hey, you have this gun, but not really, it will actually take the item and put it back in the container, and you can't do anything with it because it's out of sync. We did find one of the workarounds, which is the same workaround we used in 106. If the container needs to be refreshed, that has an item that's stuck in it, basically, because that's the way things are going to show up now. The item will just be stuck in that container. So it sucks, but at least we know, and we can't interact with an item that's out of sync, you know, causing ghosted bullets and all that crazy stuff. So now what we found, to update that container, we would pick it up, sign out with it, and then sign back in, and that seemed to fix it. And then you can interact with those things inside of your container. Weird things would happen occasionally. It's not nearly as bad as it was in 106. We've had multiple vehicles, open containers with lots of items inside, and it's really stable. Just like we said before, in 106 you couldn't have a bunch of things in the trunk of a car and move it and then be able to interact with the inventory, but you can now. So that's great. I did notice, since we did stream on the Xbox official servers last night, we did it during prime time, so we did see things start to go downhill during peak hours, but we were still able to have a lot of PvP, so it wasn't as bad as it was. So as long as they're on top of this and they're making those improvements, you know, it stinks that, you know, we have to deal with these glitches, but it's better than 106, so I'll take it. So yeah, I just want to make sure that everybody had the update where we are right now currently, some of the things that we've done to maybe work around it until then. And it's nice to see that the developers are addressing the issue and the FPS drops, because we did notice that in weird places that we didn't see it before. And even, well, I mean, obviously with the lag comes, if you're driving a vehicle and you get a lag spike, boom, your car's wrecked. So that's been happening a lot. It's happening to us. It's happening on all the platforms. I'm getting it here on the PC. I'm getting it over in the Xbox. So it's, hopefully it's a server thing and they can kind of fix it as it comes through over the weekend. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see, right? Yeah, don't forget, I do post daily DayZ content over on my YouTube channel that you're currently watching. And we'll be updating you guys on the situation here. We'll be live streaming DayZ throughout the weekend as well on official servers on the console. We might be popping over to the PC occasionally. We'll also be sprinkling in some Rust streams and also some videos. An excellent reason to subscribe if you have not already, and if you have, high five through the internet. Thank you very much. Let's see what else. We got the daily schedules. We'll be ramping up the Rust video schedule too, as the beta is just around the corner for the current generation consoles. PlayStation 4 and the Xbox. Very exciting stuff. So man, it's like we're gonna be juggling DayZ and Rust when it comes out. It's gonna be crazy. It's like, what's sleep? I don't know. So yeah, if you found this useful, helpful, be sure to drop a like on the video. It really does help a lot in the Tubes of You realm, the algorithm fighting the weirdness that is the notifications and the algorithm. So much appreciated. And let's see. Oh yeah, we do have a Discord that helps support, or that does support our community for DayZ for PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. The Discord link is in the description below. We also have that DayZ section here. Just make sure you respect everybody's platform. If you are looking to play with us, there is a process. We call it verification. It happens in our Discord. It happens here in the DayZ chat. And if you're looking for the rules, they're pinned here at the top. You do have to know these, and you do have to wait for somebody to verify you. They'll let you know in this chat when and where they'll be doing verifications in-game, and then they will test you on those rules. And then after that, they'll play with you, and then they'll bounce back to me, and then it's at my discretion when I start adding people in. It's a slow process, as we do have volunteers that do it. It's much appreciated that they're doing that, because they're taking time out of their day to help us out. So, you know, be nice to them, because I gotta tell you, if you start to be snippy to our moderators, it's not good for you playing with us. Let me just tell you that. And yeah, so I know it's a process, but it does work out on the end, and it's usually a ton of fun. I should put this caveat out there: if you really like your loot, you probably don't want to play with us, because we go into crazy situations, high risk, high reward, and I get clapped just as much as I get paid. So if you really like your loot, maybe just roll with a different group. Just putting that out there. So okay, yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video. Love your bush. Ooh. Oh, it's raining again in Livonia. No kidding. Let me see if I can shoot the repeater. Do I have the repeater? Oh, I don't. Never mind. Oh, you know what? We'll be doing, man, I should put this in the front end. We'll be doing videos on the modifications of the server files for both PlayStation and the Xbox. I want to say today, but realistically it's going to be probably over the weekend once those things come online. But I think Bohemian is addressing the issues with performance and everything else first, so I don't know what the support's like for that yet. But again, look for the modded stuff. We'll have guides and videos coming out here soon. So, all right, we'll see you guys later. Bye for realsies.